Hey everybody, how's it going? My name is Chris Rivera, Director of Client Relations with Entigrity Offshore Staffing. And something I want to talk to you about is, managing and building a team we've spoken about, but how about some actionable recommendations, right? On integrating the onshore and the offshore team, very important. And the idea is to build one cohesive unit. So I'm going to share with you 8 tips, but these tips come from Integrity's fair share of failure with clients, right? But however, 60% of the relationship issues with the team were handled incorrectly. And it's because the onshore and the offshore team, the onshore team were not on the same page. And so there were communication breakdowns, inefficient workflows, processes. It wasn't approached the right way. And so that's the key thing. It has to start at the top with everybody's buy-in. The local team can be able to concentrate on projects, and you've hired an awesome offshore team to help supplement and help with the back office on these projects. So if you don't onboard them and incorporate this into your day-to-day operations, it just simply won't work. And so the first point here is the vision must be conveyed, and it has to start at the top. And you have to let the onshore team know this is a growth strategy. This is not cost-cutting measures. In order for the firms to obtain their vision and be able to provide better service for the clients, everyone has to be on board. And so when you have buy-in at the top, it reduces the anxiety, reduces the skepticism, and realize, it's American workforce, yes, but it's been a global workforce for quite some time. Second point here, culture. Okay, so you need to create open, safe environment. Everybody belongs, right? There's no, combative battles going on. It's not, job security reasons. There's not, no one needs to have any worries. And so if you don't set this type of environment, it's not going to work. And you have to create a welcoming environment, and how to do this is having cohesive meetings, right? And not just group meetings, but one-on-one meetings as well. So everyone feels comfortable sharing thoughts and ideas. So tip number 3, manage your team health. The onshore team or offshore team comes in with inherited inferiority and inherited insecurity. And so you must encourage them to ask questions, come forward, share their ideas, let them know, again, welcoming, open, safe environment. And it's important to do this with technology, video calls, right? So many things get misinterpreted via a text message or an email. So regular meetings, no one's losing their job. We're all working together. Be proactive in communicating with your team is very important. And when you do this, you're able to address any type of issues before it even happens, rather than letting them fester. Leads us to tip number 4, involve and empower. Very important. 2 words, involve and empower. When everyone's working in a safe and comfortable environment, they will have ownership of the entire process, right? And so there's no longer this command and control, more of an agile and adaptive environment that they're working in. And you have to realize that with onshore hiring and offshore hiring, there's not replacement. It's all about complementing the staff. And in actual cases, 11% increase in onshore hiring. And so the reduction of the workload is there too. Upwards of 20% of the onshore team's workload has been reduced with the offshore team's help. And that's the benefit, and that's the idea. And tip number 5, create a buddy system. In doing this, one person locally, onshore, right? One person offshore, working together from day one, right? That's their point of contact. Naturally, they're going to have the holding them accountable for the work and the quality, and they will start forming a bond. And so they'll work closely, be able to share their experiences, create that culture bond, firms' do's and don'ts, and they'll feel as one team. And so the idea here is if it's not at the top again, none of this will fall into place. But as you can see, as we progress to tip number 6, having regular meetings and communications is very, very important. And now if you do this, this is okay in a group setting, but one-on-one is very important. I mean, you meet with your clients one-on-one, right? You don't have 7 random clients all in a group setting. So yes, you do that with your team, but one-on-one, you're able to get them comfortable and able to share any type of concerns they have, so there's no miscommunications and no misunderstandings. But don't ever cancel these meetings either, right? So it's very important. If you see it on your schedule, you may tend to want to cancel it. Don't, all right? Even if it's 5 minutes, every little bit that you do, every little thing goes so far. You give somebody a big bonus, great. But if you work with somebody one-on-one closely for a week, they will remember that for the rest of their careers with working with you. And then leads us to tip number 7, still resisting. It's going to happen. And if it doesn't happen to you, then kudos. You've done a very well job. However, if people react differently to change, and so in order to manage this, not everyone has to be on the same page, but you got to realize some people may be very proud and they're used to a routine. And so when change comes along, it may not take days, it may not take weeks, it may take months for them to really adapt to it. So it's important that you identify who these are. And in some instances, it may come to a point where they may have to be let go because they're not part of the firm's vision and the goals of what they're trying to do here. So it's a tough decision for sure. But I mean, you have to realize that it's not a perfect environment and understand that this may happen. Last tip here, number 8, work closely with your account manager. So important, so important. I keep saying that, but as you see, as you progress, you have your staff, right? But you also have somebody that you're working with who you're providing feedback to and the non-routine tasks. And you have to understand that anything that's non-routine has to go through your account manager, simply because it's a huge team out in India that we have, almost 1,000 at this point. And if we do not have policy in place, it's going to be a circus. So if you feel like a shift timing or letting them go early, or if you feel that they deserve it because they asked, you're essentially throwing your account manager on the bus, because with certain policies and the overlap that's in place, it can't just be approved by you, the client, and then denied by the account manager. Doesn't work well on our side. So these things will happen, but you have another point of contact to share feedback, ideas with, and run it by somebody. So hopefully you guys, with these 8 tips that you could integrate into your day-to-day operations, work with the offshore team, will make this happen quickly. And for now, thanks for your time. Take care.